I guess that means it's on. So please go ahead and be seated. Good evening and welcome to the Spring 2021 Graduate School Hooding Ceremony. I'm Jennifer Sullivan and I have the pleasure of serving as the Interim Dean of the Graduate School. It is an honor to be here celebrating this important academic milestone with you. To the family and friends that are gathered here, both in the room and watching remotely, thank you all for being here with us tonight. I am joined on the stage this year by our new Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Neil Mckinnon. Dr. Mckinnon joined our Augusta University community this past January, and the energy and enthusiasm that he has brought to campus is infectious. I personally appreciate his thoughtful approach to graduate education and his support of our graduate students. Dr. Mckinnon will be providing the keynote address this evening. I'm also joined by Dr. Patricia Cameron, who is the Vice Dean of the Graduate School and the real reason that a lot of things actually happen in the graduate school. Dr. Cameron will be presiding over the presentation of the hoods. In a normal year, if we can ever call something normal again, I would have been also joined on the stage by my fellow deans. Social distancing is precluding that this year, but I would like to thank you all for being here to celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates. Our deans are seated in the front row up here, and I'd like to introduce them. Feel free to stand and say hello. We're joined by Dr. Judy Wilson, who is Dean of the College of Education. Dr. Lester Pretlow, Dean of the College of Allied Health Sciences. Dr. Kim Davies, Dean of Pamplin College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. Dr. Richard Franza, Dean of the Hull College of Business. Dr. John Sutherland, Dean of the College of Science and Mathematics. Dr. Alex Schwartzman, Dean of the School of Computer and Cyber Science. And Dr. Tanya Sudia, Dean of the College of Nursing. It has been a true pleasure for me working with this outstanding group of individuals this past year. Thank you for welcoming me into your ranks and for your unwavering commitment and support to graduate education, graduate faculty, and our students. I'd also like to take a moment to thank and congratulate our faculty. Today is truly a culmination of your hard work. Our faculty do so much more than simply teach, although there's nothing simple about teaching for those of you that do it, but the time, energy, and compassion that you show our students makes a difference every single day. Thank you. And to our students, this day and event is all about you. Thank you for choosing Augusta University to pursue your graduate education. Thank you for allowing us to take this journey with you and celebrate your successes with you along the way. I know well that not every day was likely your best day, but I do know that every day you tried your best. Be proud of what you have accomplished during your time as a graduate student, both personally and professionally, and be proud to be an alumni of Augusta University, because I can tell you with certainty, every single person in this room here is proud of you. I have a horrible memory. That's probably not something I should share widely, and it's probably not a characteristic that people look in for their dean. But those that know me well will concur, although I've also been claimed to have a selective horrible memory. My daughters are here tonight, they're helping, and they will tell you they are constantly frustrated. They say, but remember, ... and I always shake my head. No, I'm very sorry, I do not remember. However, there are moments that stand out bright as can be. Most of those moments are big days. The days that I married the love of my life, the days that my beautiful daughters were born, but I also distinctly remember my own graduate hooding. I remember the feeling of anticipation as I sat in my chair and tried to recall the path that I was supposed to walk at the Saratoga Spring Performing Arts Center to reach the stage. When I got to the stage, was I stopping at the bottom or was I supposed to go up to the top? Where along the path was my PhD advisor going to meet up with me? My hood, was it supposed to be on the right arm or the left arm? All of these things I can remember feeling. But I can also remember it was a beautiful day. I remember I was surrounded by my family and I was excited. So I have these details, but I also remember the feeling of accomplishment that I had. I had no idea at that time where my career path would take me. I knew I was headed to Augusta and the Medical College of Georgia to be a postdoctoral fellow, but I never would have foreseen the opportunity to be a central part of another generation's hooding ceremony. All I knew on that day was that I had done something that many never do by obtaining an advanced degree. I was proud of that, and my future was filled with endless possibility. I wish each of our graduates a bright future filled with unseen possibility and the opportunity to excel and achieve way beyond whatever you might think is possible as you sit here this evening. As I wrap up my welcome thank you tour, I'd like to express my gratitude to the upper administration of Augusta University for working so hard to meet the needs of the individual programs and allowing us to come together to honor our graduates tonight. This is the first in-person hooding that we've had since fall 2019, and I'm thankful that we are able to come together here and hold this important event in person. Last, but far from least, I would like to acknowledge the hardworking and dedicated individuals in the graduate school: Emily Kreider, Chad Hurd, April Lembeck, Kristen Swindell, and Alicia Waller. Not only have they worked hard to make tonight a success, but they have worked with and supported your graduates every day along their path, and their efforts are very much appreciated. With that, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker. I'm pleased to have with us this evening Dr. Neil Mckinnon, Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Mckinnon joined us in January 2021 from the James L. Winkle College of Pharmacy at the University of Cincinnati, where he served as the dean, and he's here tonight to give some words of wisdom to our graduates. Dr. Mckinnon.
All right, well, good evening. Interim Dean Sullivan, Dr. Cameron, my fellow deans, graduate school faculty and staff, and of course our graduates, parents, family, and friends. And in that last category, if I can just interject, if your family, friends, or parents here tonight, later on when your son, your daughter, your granddaughter, your grandson cross the stage, feel free to yell out if you wish. Just because we're wearing fancy clothes here on the stage doesn't mean we can't have fun tonight as well. So this is not a funeral, it's a celebration. So, well, all right, there we go. Well, I've entitled this address, Transitions in Life Easy, No, Electrifying, Yes. And the fact that I've given this address a title may cause you to worry. You may be thinking, how long is this guy going to speak? You can relax, though. Dean Sullivan gave me clear instructions that this address could not exceed 2 hours. Actually, my limit is 10 minutes, and as you can tell, she's right here in a position to keep a close eye on me. So first of all, I would like to congratulate today's graduates. My address is aimed directly at you, though we'll allow the others in the room to listen in as well. The first point I'd like to make is that transitions in life typically are not easy. Think about some of the most significant transitions in life. Your first day at AU, moving to a new community, a wedding day, the birth of a child, or in my case, the birth of twins, very scary, and the death of a spouse or parent. These are all scary events, especially death. Then again, it is also a matter of perspective. As someone once said, when I die, I want to die like my grandfather, who died peacefully in his sleep, not screaming like all the passengers in his car. Well, the transition point you are in right now in your life, graduation from graduate school, is also not easy. Some of you will be going on to complete postdoctoral fellowship or additional training. Others of you will be entering the workforce. And some of you are making a transition which is scary for both you and your parents. You're moving back home to live with your parents. So if you're feeling apprehensive, uncertain, even worried, I'm here to reassure you that this is normal. Your world is being shaken, your norms are being changed, and you are entering the next phase of your life. 23 years ago, I defended my PhD dissertation, and I was about to start my first position as a faculty member at Dalhousie University in Nova Scotia, Canada. And to be honest, I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. So we've reviewed how transitions in life are not easy. If I ended here, this may well be the most depressing keynote address in the history of the graduate school. So let's move on then to something more inspiring. My second point is that transitions in life can also be electrifying. This is also a time in life like no other. Your career is before you. You can become a leader in your chosen profession or field. You can take risks in your career and try new things. All of you took a risk by choosing to study at AU. For today's graduates, it was a big step, and there are times I'm sure you felt like you would never finish your graduate education. Thank you for taking a risk and for being part of our university community. Romans chapter 5 of the Bible reassures us that times of stress and suffering produce endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. I'm not sure I want to equate your time at AU as being a time of stress and suffering, but I'm sure you had your share of stressful moments. And I suspect that as you leave AU today, you are someone better able to endure life's stressors, a person of stronger character, and hopeful of your future. So let me offer 3 pieces of advice to you, today's graduates, at this period of transition in your life. First, speak wisely. Speak wisely. And the following story exemplifies how not to do this. So Brother John entered the monastery of silence, and the chief priest said, "Brother, this is a silent monastery. You're welcome to stay here as long as you like, but you may not speak until I direct you to do so." So Brother John lived in the monastery for a full year before the chief priest said to him, "Brother John, you have been here a year now. You may speak 2 words." Brother John said, "Hard bed." "I'm sorry to hear that," the chief priest said. We will get you a better bed." The next year, Brother John was called in by the chief priest. "You may say another 2 words, Brother John." "Cold food." The chief priest assured him that the food would be better in the future. On his 3rd anniversary at the monastery, the chief priest again called Brother John into his office. "2 words you may say today." "I quit," said Brother John. "It is probably best," said the chief priest. "All you've done here since you've gotten here is to complain." The second point, then, is to speak up, to speak up. Martin Niemöller, who was imprisoned for opposing the Nazis in Germany, captured the importance of speaking up in his poem, "First They Came." In Germany, the Nazis came first for the communists, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a communist. Then they came for the Jews, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a Jew. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I didn't speak up because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Catholics, and I did not speak up because I was Protestant. Then they came for me, and by that time, no one was left to speak up. I suspect that many of you have no problem speaking up and expressing your opinions on things like music and clothes and celebrities. Do the same for issues like healthcare, the environment, and politics. Don't intentionally try to offend people, but don't be afraid to share your perspectives just because it might offend someone. Leadership expert John Maxwell says this about speaking up and being an advocate. "Just about anyone will serve if compelled to do so, and some will serve in a crisis, like we've seen this past year. But you can really see the heart of someone who initiates service to others. Great leaders see the need, seize the opportunity, and serve without expecting anything in return." My third and final piece of advice is to speak through your actions. There's a short story called "The Window" by G.W. Target, which demonstrates this. The Window tells the story of 2 men who were confined to hospital beds in the same room. Both men were seriously ill, And though they were not allowed much diversion, no TV, no radio, no books, their friendship developed over months of conversation. They discussed every possible subject in which they both had interest or experience, from family to jobs to vacation, as well as much of their own personal histories. Neither man left his bed, but one was fortunate enough to be next to the window. As part of his treatment, he could sit up in his bed for just 1 hour a day, and at this time, he would describe the world outside to his roommate. In very descriptive terms, he would bring the outside world inside to his friend, describing to him the beautiful park he could see with its lake and the many interesting people he saw spending their time there. His friend began to live for those descriptions. After a particularly fascinating report, the one man began to think it was not fair that his friend got to see everything while he could see nothing. He was ashamed of his thoughts, but he had quite a bit of time to think, and he couldn't get this out of his mind. Eventually, his thoughts began to take their effect on his health, and he became even more ill with a disposition to match. One evening, his friend, who sometimes had difficulty with congestion and breathing, awoke with a fit of coughing and choking and was unable to press the button for the nurse to come to his aid. The frustrated, sour man lay there, looking at the ceiling, listening to the struggle for life next to him, and doing nothing. The next morning, the day nurse came in to find the man by the window dead. After a proper interval, the man, who was so eager to see out that window, asked if he could be moved, and it was quickly done. As soon as the room was empty, the man struggled up on his elbow to look out the window outside world. It was then that he discovered the window faced a blank wall. To me, this story is a powerful reminder that we don't always get to choose our circumstances in life, but we can always choose how we respond to our circumstances. So now I'd like to say the two words you've been waiting for, in conclusion. So, in conclusion, I am convinced that your AU faculty have provided you with all you will need to help you transition to the next phase in your life. The next phase, where I expect you to be an electrifying influence by speaking wisely, speaking up, and speaking through your actions. Thank you, and go Jags.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mckinnon. The hooding ceremony is a special ceremony allowing for individual recognition of graduates receiving a master's or doctoral degree. During the ceremony, each graduate will present themselves to their faculty advisor, program director, or dean with their hood placed traditionally over the left arm, but for the sake of pictures and ease today, we're going to ask you to put them over your right arm. The graduate will hand the hood to the faculty or dean and then turn away, facing the audience, so that the hood can be placed over the head of the graduate, signifying his or her success in completing the graduate program. The hooding symbolizes the culmination of graduate studies and the degree recipient's transition from student to colleague. It is a public acknowledgement of all the hard work, dedication, and perseverance that each of our graduates has demonstrated. Tomorrow, you will celebrate in larger commencement exercises, but to me, the presentation of hoods and the recognition of your accomplishments by the faculty and the deans that have been with you and by you throughout your journey is especially meaningful. I hope this day and the memory of it stay with you as a bright spot that you can smile back upon the same way I fondly remember my own hooding. I will now invite Dr. Cameron to the podium to lead us through the presentation of hoods.
Thank you, Dr. Sullivan, and good evening, faculty and guests. A special greetings and my heartfelt congratulations to all of our graduating students today. We're so very proud of each and every one of you. It is my privilege and honor to be part of this ceremony commemorating such an exciting milestone in your lives. If any of you are a little bit nervous like Dr. Sullivan was at her hooding, just remember, you all completed your degree requirements. You can certainly do this. I'll even give you a few quick reminders and instructions so you can relax and savor this very proud moment. We will start with the presentation of the hoods for our doctoral students. Doctoral students and faculty who will be hooding them, when your row is signaled, you will stand, move towards your right, and walk forward in order to the stage. Please remember to bring your hood and your name card with you to the stage. Please keep your mask on at all times, including for the photos on stage. After you are hooded and photographed, make your way back to your seat. Easy as that. Audience members, we ask that you kindly hold the group applause to the end, but you're welcome to shout out your favorite person as they cross the stage. Now, let's begin. Will the first row of doctoral students please stand and come forward? And while they're coming forward, this is a good opportunity for everyone that's sitting there to take a pause, take a breath. These things go by so fast, and when you have these moments to reflect, it's good to take them. Alec Davila, Doctor of Philosophy with a major in vascular biology. Dissertation title, Microvascular Dysfunction in Heart Failure with Preserved Ejection Fraction, hooded by his advisor, Dr. Zsolt Baji. In addition to completing the degree requirements for the Doctor of Philosophy, Alec also completed the degree requirements for the Doctor of Medicine. Nicole Lopez, Doctor of Philosophy with a major in biochemistry and cancer biology. Dissertation title, Salubrenol mediates fetal hemoglobin induction via the EIF2-alpha A2F4 signaling pathway for the treatment of sickle cell disease. Hooded by her advisor, Dr. Betty Pace. Mackenzie Hagan, Doctor of Philosophy with a major in cellular biology and anatomy. Dissertation title, The Role of SPTBN1 in Osteocyte Mechanosensation and Downstream Bone Adaptation. Already hooded by her advisor, Dr. Megan McGee-Lawrence. Doctor of Philosophy with a major in pharmacology, Mustafa Kamal Khater. Dissertation title, G-beta gamma translocation to the Golgi apparatus mediates MAPK activation by GPCRs via PI3K alpha and ARF1. Upon completion of his dissertation, Mustafa was awarded with the honor PhD with distinction. Doctor of Philosophy with a major in Applied Health Sciences, Lawrence Ramsical. Dissertation title, Understanding Unilateral Scapular Dyskinesis in Asymptomatic Individuals Established by Scapular Dyskinesis Test. Upon completion of his dissertation and degree requirements, Lawrence was awarded the honor PhD with distinction. He was hooded by Dr. Raymond Chong, his advisor. Doctor of Philosophy with a major in vascular biology, Rebecca Tritz. Dissertation title, Leveraging the Bioenergetic Profile of Neurofibromatosis Type 1, hooded by Dr. Jennifer Sullivan. Doctor of Education with a major in Educational Innovation, Justin Boyington, hooded by Dr. Kim Barker. Benton Cunningham. Carlos Marshall. Guda Omar Atia. Rebecca Ralph. Christina Ralston. Gian Cerrone. Jefferson Tracy. Doctor of Nursing Practice. Kelsey Afonso, hooded by Dr. Patricia Bowman. Kaylee Clark. Courtney Davis. Sarah Lever. Megan Lord. Mallory Montez. Brianna Sample. Miranda Schuler. Nanette Spencer. Rebecca Thiong. Cora Thornton. Ariana Trujillo Ortega. Nicholas Leaf, hooded by Dr. Pamela Cromer. Annalise Prunier. Tyresha Hubbard, hooded by Dr. Mary Lou Davis. Margaret Hudspeth. Jessica Kelly. Thank you. Dakota Tucker. Daniel Wright. Jessica Clark, hooded by Dr. Carolyn Mckinnon. Brannon Patterson. Corey Zeller. Cameron Autry, hooded by Dr. Beth McClear. Ebony Crossland. Lauren Hickson. Sarah Houston. Malik Mathis. Kimberly May. Ryan O'Hagan. Crystal Ryan. Brittany Scruggs. Rosalind Witten. Leah Williams. Hooded by Dr. Beth Neesmith, Holly Brown. Ashley Bryan. Susan DeCosia. Karina Williams, hooded by Dr. Colleen Walters. Samantha Zabrowski. All right, here's your chance to show your love for all these doctoral students. Let's hear a round of applause. All right, now we're going to move on and proceed with the hooding of our specialist in education and our master's students. Graduates, as your row is signaled, you will stand and move towards your right and walk forward toward the stage. The dean of each of your colleges or school will join the first person in your cohort as they near the stage. Remember to bring your hood and your name card to the stage. If you were the first person in your degree cohort, please bring that bright-colored card that was on your chair as well. Please keep your masks on at all times, and after you are hooded and photographed, make your way back to the seat. Audience, we love to hear your special shouts of joy for your special person, and we'll have a chance at the end to applause as a group. So let's begin. The first row of specialist in education students, please stand and come forward. While they're coming forward, you can thank graduates. I'm going to ask you to think of some special person that got you to where you are today. And hold that name in mind, and when you're done, I'd ask you to take the opportunity to give them a special thanks. None of us get to this point alone, and it's a really nice opportunity to reflect on all the people who have helped you get to where you are today. College of Education graduates, hooded by Dr. Judy Wilson, specialist in education with a major in advanced educational studies, Ashley Edge. Leader Johnson. Michelle Lyons. Amanda Smith. Jessica Jenkins. Elizabeth Airgood. Vanessa Murphy. Constance Manning. Kimberly Francisco. Darby Finley. Master of Education with a major in Counselor Education, Emmanuel Anderson. Christina Conti. Jamaica Gardner. Tani Chut. Master of Education with a major in Instruction, Gretchen Solomon. Melanie White. Giving her a challenge here. Alexandria Jackson. Raymond Epps. Terry Capers. Stephanie Dengate. Master of Science with a major in Kinesiology, Sydney Robinson. You're done. College of Allied Health Sciences, hooded by Dr. Lester Pretlow, Master of Public Health, Lauren Sedor. Selma Ozturk. Ashantia Pullins. Master of Science with a major in Allied Health, Melanie Abron. Nicole Goltry. Sydney Ingberg. Tara Smith. Laura Martin. Jiajun Lin. Natalie Romano Smith. Robert Giddings. Emily Alspaugh. Kayla Osberg. Hannah Strickland. Victoria Colon Pardo. Master of Science in Medical Illustration, Madison Christian. Anna Kay Kelly. Kristen Pasakia. Andrea Lacey. Yep, one in every group. Got to give the deans a challenge. Jordan Thornton. Lyndon Peterson. Anne Elizabeth White. Mason Goth. Pamplin College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences, hooded by Dr. Kim Davies, Master of Arts with a major in Intelligence and Security Systems, Madison Brooks. Candy Murphy. Jacqueline Brigido. Hassan Tucker. Master of Public Administration, Ladaria Scott. Felicia Moore. Kenny Osorio. Sydney Hillman. Carolyn Thomas. You're good. James Hull College of Business, hooded by Dr. Richard Franza, Master of Business Administration, Ripa Patel. College of Science and Mathematics, hooded by Dr. John Sutherland, Master of Science with a major in Psychology, Kaylee Manning. Alexis Beaver. Manderly, oops, getting fast here. Manderly Racinos. Hyatt Dergaga. School of Computer and Cyber Sciences, hooded by Dr. Alexander Schwartzman, Master of Science with a major in Information Security Management, Joshua Woodarts. John Bello Ogunu, Jr. All right, if you're impressed by that talent that went across this stage, let's give them a great round of applause. Over the centuries, many professionals have adopted oaths and creeds that new members recite as a formal affirmation that they accept the privileges and responsibilities that their professions afford. And while our master's, specialist, and doctoral degree recipients don't comprise a single profession, they do have a commonality of purpose. The graduate oath was written by our graduate students to be recited by graduates to commemorate that common purpose and to affirm their resolve to uphold it to their fullest extent. A more recent tradition that has been established is where a graduate leads fellow graduates in reciting the oath during the hooding ceremony. We are very proud to announce that Ms. Kaylee Manning, a Master of Science with a major in psychology student and a member of the Graduate School Graduate Student Council, has been selected to lead the reading of the oath for today's hooding ceremony. Congratulations, Kaylee, and I now invite you to the stage.
Fellow graduates, please rise and read along with me as I recite the graduate oath, which can be found in the inside cover of your hooding program. Let's begin. As I embark on my career, now an alumnus of the Graduate School at Augusta University, I pledge that I will represent my discipline honorably by conducting myself and my professional endeavors in a manner that is always above reproach. I will strive to show compassion, embrace diversity, and above all, uphold excellence, that I should become a worthy role model and ambassador of Augusta University. With this affirmation, I acknowledge and honor the contributions of those who have preceded me while seeking the truth and the advancement of knowledge in all my actions. I will always remember to act so as to preserve the finest traditions of my calling and incorporate both the art and science of my profession and the products of my labor. I will incorporate ethical and moral principles that constitute integrity in all that I do, and faithfully ensure that the results of my professional activities ultimately benefit our world. Thank you. Please be seated.
Thank you, Kaylee. I am pleased to offer my most sincere congratulations to every single one of our graduates. Thank you again to our faculty for all of your efforts, and to the family and friends of our students for the love and support that you have provided our graduates throughout their journey. My own daughter will actually be graduating from high school this year, and while the celebrations that we have will be all about her achievements and her accomplishments, I can tell you in the background, my husband and I are congratulating ourselves on navigating the last 18 years. So a huge cheers and thank you to all of those support systems out there that have provided the platform that have allowed our students to succeed at the level which they have succeeded. Thank you. I will close with the reminders of the words from Dr. Mckinnon to use your voices to advocate for what you believe in. The world is a complex and challenging place, full of both hurdles and opportunities, and we need strong leaders willing to step up and help do what is right. I'm excited to see what each and every single one of you is capable of, and hope that you fondly remember Augusta University as a critical stepping stone on your pathway to success. With that, family and friends, you can find your graduates after the recessional outdoors, and I wish you all a wonderful evening. Thank you.